everybody. Welcome to today's workshop. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. We are going to be learning and exploring and experiencing our lower body, our root chakra, and our energy system. And we're not going to only do it from a meditative perspective, which we will. We'll enjoy some of that time with ourselves that's more meditative and doing breathing exercises. But we're also going to explore our energy system and our root chakra from more the emotional and relational side of things. How we talk to ourselves, what feelings we hold in our body, how we can use our imagination and our own creative source of images, but I don't want you to think you have to visualize. But we all have experiences in the world that can be very healing. And we have these beautiful minds that can imagine things. And some of you might imagine more from a feeling place. Some of you might imagine more from a word place, like you're writing a story. And then some of you might have that gift of being able to see things more like a picture. We're going to use all of that today in the 3 practices we use to help ourselves first from this energetic perspective of healing and balancing our root chakra. And I'm going to talk about where that is in the body. And we're going to also, and Linda's here, our wonderful, amazing team member, yay. And we're also going to look at how would we use this with a client or a friend? How do we help someone through these practices? Now, some of you are students in Coaching Institute, and some of you were invited here just to learn about this, and maybe you want to join the Chakra Inner Healing Coach program. Someone just joined last night, so welcome. So either way, I really want everyone to have this information. If you're a student in the program, you're going to also be able to practice in about an hour and a half. At 2:30, we're going to go to another Zoom for just you to practice. And also, if you're in the program, I want you to know you have a full module about this work from the perspective of guiding groups, working one-on-one. Your classroom content's a little different than today's workshop. This workshop is more, I was going to follow, I'll be totally honest. I was spending yesterday like looking at my old workshop, looking at my meditation, meditating with myself, going through that. And I was like, I can't do a repeat. I need to feel this out and do what feels most alive today with this energy system and with myself. And so this is a new workshop. It's not what's in your program. But it draws from that. It draws from that session guide. And the meditations or the guided journeys we're going to go on are pretty short. So you can actually use them as one-offs. You don't have to do all 3 with a client or with a group. You can do just one. They're different experiences. And those of you who know me well, some of you were in Energy Coach a while back. And I do have to say, I've kind of learned, like all of us, we're all learning, right? I've learned a lot since then, since I started teaching energy coaching. And one of the things I've learned from an energy medicine perspective is the importance actually of when working with just one part of the body or one energy center, that I always now like to include a kind of an exploration of a journey in the body of going up and down the central channel before we begin, in between, and at the end. Like we can just teach ourselves and our clients to breathe and feel all the way up and all the way down the body, and even imagining just these different parts of ourself, whether or not you feel them, it doesn't matter. Just imagining the different parts in your body sort of lighting up and expanding, going up and going down. and setting that intention for balance, for flow, for health. What is the intention you have? And I'm realizing I lettuce from my salad in my tooth, so excuse me a minute. Um, what is your intention for today, for your body, for your feelings? Do you have one? Would you write it in the chat? And can you actually create one? And I'm going to start sharing the slides. And actually, this is something that I also really suggest you do with clients, that at the beginning of a more healing coaching session, they allow themselves to set their own intention, and you set an intention as a coach. It's very powerful to highlight that for oneself. I do it before every class, before every client. And I find that it's a practice that just brings a steadiness that is grounding. It is good for our root chakra to set intentions. And I love reading what you guys are writing. And, you know, I'm going to share a little bit personally about me and energy. So I have a tendency, and I'm sure over half of you have the same tendency, maybe even over 70%, to be more in like the heart and up energetics of oneself, because that's often what feels very connected to the universe, very connected to other people. It's that kind of going up and out in our focus. So it can actually even be, well, the energy that's up high is a little faster frequency. It's a little bit more kind of like a smile. It's a little more bubbly and just looking for the words, but this is what my body is showing me. It's like, hi, I'm here, you know? And the lower energies are more stabilizing, centering, like, I'm here, like, I'm in here, I'm in the body, I'm ready to walk, I'm ready to take action. And what I discovered in myself was that it wasn't actually developing more upper chakra strengths like intuition or connection that made the bigger difference to my own well-being. What made the biggest difference to my own relationship with myself, my own emotions, was grounding my energy and working with this root chakra. So when I started to do this, I did it like at least 5 times a day, like just the simplest practice of sending energy down and connecting with the earth. And I still do it every day. Not 5 or 10 times. At first I had to kind of put extra emphasis on it. And I was so happy after doing this for about a year. I met with a Vedic teacher who's not my teacher, but he's my teacher's teacher. And so I thought it was kind of special that I was going to get to meet with him. And I met with him and he said, well, you're very grounded. You don't need any help there. And I thought, oh, wow, no one's ever told me I was grounded. It worked. Like this person who feels energy felt I was grounded. That's so cool. And really, up till that point, no energy healer or medicine person had ever said that to me. They'd always sort of, people like to say nice things to you, so they connected from a heart energy or from a kind of universal energy, but they never said I was grounded because I wasn't grounded. So we can do a lot of good things without being grounded. However, when we get grounded, it becomes easier. It's easier on our body. We also have an easier time connecting from the heart. And it's like a kite that's kind of blowing around. Sometimes the joyful, radiant energy that's on top can be also a little bit wobbly. So we want to have a good center grounded point, and that's what we're going to work on today. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share the slides with you guys. And by the way, if you are in the program, these slides are already in your classroom. Because I know some people are wondering that. So I took this photograph today, this morning, as I walked on this path preparing for today's workshop. I did a practice of connecting with trees and with the earth energy, and this is where I was walking as I was doing that practice to get the ideas for today's workshop. And actually, two guides showed up for me. One was a white wolf on my right side, and one was a black wolf on my left side. And they kind of took a walk with me and talked to me a little bit. And I know just in my imagination, it was a beautiful experience. I was not hallucinating, or you don't have to worry about me. But they were there in non-ordinary reality, holding space and being supportive. So I invite them. My intention is to invite all the guides and helpers today to support all of us in grounding our energy and preparing ourselves to help others. Okay. So energy in, and I'm talking here about our own energy system, but, and this is, I'm not quoting a lot of people here. I just want to be clear. This is sort of my experience of it. But I do think this is spoken a lot about in energy medicine, that energy connects us with our emotions, or you could say emotions become energy in us. There's this beautiful relationship between them. Our our creative mind, our subconscious is also very much connected to our energy system and our energy body. So as our energy body kind of wakes up and comes online, sometimes it's easier to imagine things or to have visions or to feel and know things. Those intuitive senses expand. Now, what is often shared in energy healing and energy medicine that I think is important for all of us to know if we're doing this kind of work at whatever level is that the physical affects the energetic and the energetic affects the physical. So I never claim or believe that I can like heal a problem in my body that's deeply physical, right? But I can, and I'm just talking about to myself as a self healer, I can bring my intention, my imagination, and my inner energetic experience to a part of my body and create relaxation and increase energetic flow and remove things at the energy level, not the physical level. And that allows my body, I believe, to be more able to heal itself. So that's where I find there is this connection. And the same thing goes at the emotional and psychological. That if I have an anxiety, a sadness, a worry, a frustration, I can work energetically and it helps my emotions release, relax, um, kind of come back to a centered place. So that's why I do this for myself and with others. So we can always kind of look at our energy and ask ourselves is if we're looking at like our whole body, like if you just imagine holding your whole body right now in your hands, and you can ask, am I kind of inflamed or kind of like congested, like over full, or am I kind of depleted? Am I kind of like crumpling in a little? That those are my imaginations of those two states, and it's sort of a good practice to kind of see, am I a little bit, am I going in one direction or the other? And like we might know things about ourselves. Like I know that I'm a pitta fire type in Ayurveda, and I tend to have extra inflammation in my system. So I tend to be a little bit congested. I'm not the depleted type, but some might be more, like low energy, didn't sleep well, maybe haven't been eating well, feeling very small. That might be more depleted energy system. So it's good just to ask ourselves and get in the habit of seeing what we notice on that intuitive level. Take it or leave it. That's just something I wanted to share as a practice that we can do for ourselves. So whenever we are bringing an intention, like that first thing we did, an intention for today for ourselves, for our own healing, that intention at the thought level is also creating a new energy kind of tempo or map for us of where we're headed, like where the river is flowing, where we're going to on the map. So that's one of the beauties of goals, intentions, direction, is to know where we're headed. So if you haven't yet, state internally for yourself where you're headed. Like, are you headed towards loving, full, peaceful, joyful energy? Are you headed towards healthy vibrance? Decide a direction for yourself. And let's go a little closer in. I might be sometimes speeding up or slowing down in the talk. And honestly, because this is a first for me, I'm hoping to keep it at about no longer than 75 minutes today, but I might go a little over. So we'll see. I don't want to rush us through any of the practices. So if we have to stop before the end, then I will hold another one of these sessions. So our root chakra is at the base of the spine, the sits bones, lower back kind of area. If you were to clench the muscles that stop yourself from urinating, you will feel at the muscular level, sort of that area come online. And then you can relax them. But that gives you a sense of how low down, and then let yourself kind of move up your body a little bit as if you had a tail at the base of your spine. And that sort of gives you a sense of this root chakra. In some traditions, they talk about the sex chakras that are more where the where that urine flow area is. But for today, we can kind of be working with both of these lower energy centers. And the gifts of this center, of this place in the body, and I like to think of the energy centers as kind of like their own universe that contain a whole level of wisdom, of gifts for us, of tendencies, like where things might get stored that are kind of wounded parts of us, or emotional experiences. And that's what's so beautiful about using our chakras and our energy system as a sort of map for self-healing. I think it gives us that very natural way to be with ourselves through our body and to be with our emotions that way. That's why I created this course called Chakra Inner Healing, to go to that emotional level more in a sense than the physical. So this part of the body, this energy center, gives us the gift of presence, groundedness, like being of earth, solid. And it sets us up for balance and structure so that we can open in a healthy and safe way. One of the things about opening up energetically is if we're not well grounded, it can be like electricity that's not grounded. It can go a little off course, become too frenetic, and come against a lot of tension. So if you're interested in, or your clients are interested in opening up energetically, I think it's really important to have this good solid base of health, and almost it's like reconfiguring a healthy balance in the root chakra. I used to have a teacher who said that, I'm looking for the exact words she used. I don't remember her exact wording, but it really brought this home to me, that so many people in today's world, in our that we know, us included, have energetically sort of blown out our root chakras. That and this is why so many people have, including myself, chronic back problems or different issues in the body, or in it's hard to feel a sense of self-worthiness or self-love or being one's own best friend, because that part of the body in current society has taken on too much of a burden and felt sort of blown out. The sense of home, the sense of safety has been really put to the test. By the way, that rock was on my walk today as well, and I took that picture for you guys because I thought that rock was also a great metaphor for groundedness. So this slide, I wanted to just sort of mention that there are different ways that we can ground our energy, and this is really related to the root chakra, and different ways to focus depending on our body's position. Now, if we got to be on that beach walking in the water and the sand with those rocks, what a great way to ground our energy. But probably, you know, some of you might get to do that later today, but many of us won't. So we do lie down though often, right? We lie down usually before falling asleep. And when we're lying down, if we imagine our whole, or like let's say this hand is my body lying down, the back body connected to the bed is receiving energy from the ground. And we can just focus on our whole back body receiving grounding, centering, balancing energy from Mother Earth. When we're sitting, like right now, if you're sitting at a chair, you can focus on where your back of your legs and seat meet the seat of your chair, and feel the energy rise up through the seat into the body, and feel the energy go down through the hips, legs, feet into the earth. When we're standing, we can invite that energy up through the feet. And I like to do a walking practice. So see the way my hands are like this? I mean, I don't walk like this, that'd be weird, but with the hands down by the hips, if you walk with a slight rounding of your hands, and just imagine the hands receiving energy into the palms where there are minor chakras, receiving energy from the earth as you walk, and also your feet receiving energy. So just imagine right now you're walking, and you could even move your feet slightly up and down, and you're receiving this energy from Mother Earth. It's a beautiful walking meditation, and it's very grounding. In Ayurveda, massaging the feet, oiling the feet, burying the feet in dirt or sand is really grounding. Just being from the earthing perspective, there's a movement called earthing, and that just means being barefoot on the earth, whether it's grass or dirt, and absorbing the electromagnetic field of the earth without cement or other things that block that direct connection to the frequency of earth. So those are all great things to do, to teach others to do. And we can just immediately start that practice when lying down to go to sleep, or when waking up, and inviting energy into the whole back body that way, and feeling the back breathe with Earth's energy. It's an easy one. I love practices that don't mean like you don't have to get out of bed to do them. Those are my favorite ones. And then you can spend about 10 minutes in bed in the morning doing your energy medicine, you know? Okay. The session we're going to work with today, if using it with a client, it's the most helpful as like session number 3 or 4. So the first session, you would be setting up kind of an understanding, getting to know your client, understanding their relationships, the parts of their life, what their goals are, if any blocks or big things are going on for them, that would be session 1. Session 2 might be a higher self-guided session if you were doing energy coach training. You also might do in the program, you'll find the full chakra exploration, where you're just guiding a client to feel all their energy centers and get used to being there and receiving any information there. Those are all good sessions to do before today's session. Now, don't worry, you and I don't have to have done any of those to enjoy today. And I'm trying to make this session, this workshop, as kind of user-friendly as possible. So this is language that comes directly from the session guide if you are in the program, just so we know, so you know. But I just wanted to let you guys know and kind of do it with you. That first, let's just make sure we feel okay closing our eyes. Could we all just close our eyes and go inside for a moment and take a nice deep breath? So just check out how it feels to be inside yourself as you breathe. And if it doesn't feel okay to close your eyes, keep your eyes open, but practice going inside with your eyes open. I like to put my hands on my heart or on my stomach to kind of connect more closely with my body. And when doing this, we can return to our intention. And if doing this with a client, they might first do the exploration of the eyes closed. You'll tell them a little bit about what they're going to learn today, what you'll be doing together, and have them set an intention from this more connected, internal, interior place. Okay, so you can open your eyes now. And here are some questions we might ask ourselves or a client as we get started. So I'm going to ask you, can you take out a piece of paper right now and write down the answers for yourself? What does stability mean for you? What comes to you when I say the word stability? And if you don't like the word stability, you could use the word balance, security, safety, grounded. But stable is I like the word stable. What does stable make you think? What does it mean for you in your life? So since I'm the only one whose thoughts are available to me in this moment, I'll just use myself as an example. What came to me was emotional stability. That's what stability means for me today. Absolutely 100%. It's about my emotions. It's not about my physical, it's not about my intellectual, it's about my emotional life. So that's what is like alive for me today. And then let's look at a sense of being worthy or unworthy. This is also very related to the root chakra and a place where we can get help. We can go to our root chakra actually to build more worthiness within, more of a grounded, present quality of being okay with ourselves. So what shows up for you? Write it down. Does anything show up in that area of feeling unworthy or not good enough in some way? Is there anything like that that shows up for you? It's good when we name it in a kind way. Like, this is what sometimes my critical voice says, or that part of me that's a little insecure. And we just say, okay, I'm going to be friendly with that. I'm going to welcome that information because I'd like to help it. And just write it down so you know 1 or 2 sentences. And I'm just giving you a minute because that's kind of a big one. I also like to know with a client if it felt comfortable closing one's eyes and going inside. So just check on that with yourself right now. Am I comfortable today doing that? Because I want you to be comfortable. You're in control. You're totally in charge of the experience. So if it's not comfortable, don't do it. If it is comfortable, or you want to close your eyes and go in for a little while and then open your eyes and look around the room and notice colors and shapes, that's also very supportive. So know that you're in charge and you go at the level that feels right. And different days, different things are going on. It's okay to be flexible with oneself. Now, this is an interesting question or exploration that I think could actually have much greater kind of emphasis for us. It could be a half of a session. So we're going to just touch on it. But stability points. I like to know with someone I'm coaching what gives them stability. So is it more values support them? Like knowing that they value kindness, or they value productivity, or they value creativity, whatever it is, does a value support them as a stability point? Or is it more an emotion or a relationship, how they love someone or something, or a feeling they get? What is their stability points? And that's also why we often do resourcing in a creative mind session, where we imagine a place in nature and we bring our senses there and we make it a very comfortable, safe place in nature. And that really helps support the stability points. And that helps the root chakra, by the way. Stability, groundedness, balance are all helpful to restructuring and bringing healing and support to that part of oneself, that universe. And that universe will give that to us. And see, now I'm calling the chakra a universe because that's really how I feel about it. Okay. We're going to do a little practice right now. So put away the pen or the part of your computer that you were writing on. Now we're going to go into a more experiential part of the workshop. So, and I mentioned it earlier, how we can feel into our central channel as we're breathing. So we're going to just do a little, maybe 2-minute journey here, where I like to close my eyes and feel my feet firmly on the ground. Notice my seat. And go inside and just say hello to yourself. And as you breathe, let your breath be comfortable for you, and just beginning in that lower energy center, the root chakra, the lower spine, the hips, right where you can feel your sits bones on the chair. And breathe in. And as you breathe in, imagine there's like a river of light through the center of your body, and it's just filling up with light as it goes through your stomach, your diaphragm, your heart, the back of your heart. Keep breathing up. It's okay to exhale too. You don't have to hold your breath or anything. Breathing into your throat, feeling that river of light all the way through your face, your forehead, into your crown, top of your head. And then now, more quickly, as you exhale, go down the center of your body. And when you reach the bottom of the exhale, right at your tailbone, breathe in and up, filling with light, filling that central channel with light all the way to the top of your head. Say hello to your crown, maybe massage it, and then exhale at your own rhythm, going down the central channel, that river of light, through all the energy centers. And just do a few more breaths in your own way, feeling that central channel of energy and light, letting your body move if it wants to move. And of course, our minds are welcome to think. We can breathe and connect and imagine ourselves filling with this light, moving up and moving down in our own rhythm. And sometimes we see something or think something, and that's okay. Just continue with the practice. One more full breath now and full exhale. Okay, when you're ready, opening your eyes, back in your space, maybe snap a little or wiggle the fingers and toes, jazz hands. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the presentation because, to be honest, it's not memorized. And I love having the slides as a way for me to keep moving through the practices. Okay. So this comes from shamanic healing and shamanic counseling traditions that took a lot of different indigenous healing paths and sort of created a way for people to receive healing at the soul and energetic level from nature. So, um, one of the things that can help us when we're working with our own energy, body, and chakra system is to imagine a high place in nature that you know. What's the highest place you've ever been? Is it a mountain you once climbed? Is it a view you can remember from a high building? Is it being in a plane even and looking down? Where have you been the highest place? I mean, you know what? Let's forget the plane example because that's a little too much, I think, being in the plane. But a high place. I know I once hiked a very high mountain, and I can remember that feeling of being at the height of that mountain. Sometimes I also use a high tree, actually. It was cut down, unfortunately, but in my neighborhood for a while was a very, very tall tree. And sometimes I use that as my reference. So any high place in nature, and here I have the picture of the woman looking out at that vista from that high place. That's the highest place we're going to go, the place you can imagine. And then think of a low place in nature. I used to live near a creek in Ashland, Oregon, and I would go to that creek lots of times in the week, and I would look at the rocks at the bottom of the creek, and that's what I use as my reference for my low place in nature. But where do you feel is a low place in nature that you've walked that feels very grounding and like you're at that earth level? So just take a moment to feel into those two places, the high place and the low place. And in shamanic traditions, this gives us a reference at the soul level for where we might journey. We won't journey lower and we won't journey higher. And I like that. I like that part of that tradition quite a bit. Okay. So it's funny, I pick pictures sometimes and then I see them big like this and I'm like, oh, that was a weird choice. This is a strange picture of a landscape. So forget those neon colors. I don't know what was going on with that. But let's just bring a little awareness right now to our root chakra in a meditation. And you can go ahead and close your eyes and just go in your own way. And it's okay if your eyes are open as well, by the way. Trust yourself. You're totally in control of the process. I just want you to say hi to your energy self now. Saying hi to your spine, saying hi to that central channel right in front of your spine that allows energy to flow up and down, and going into your hips and your lower back where your tailbone is, and say hello. What does it feel like to be in there as you breathe? Just notice. And as you notice, if you'd like to say welcome to your experience, whatever you feel or see or notice, it might be a discomfort, a tension. It might be something very sweet. It might be very neutral. Just say hello. Welcome. You're creating a safe, nurturing space for your experience. And this is a level of emotional maturity, balance as you do this, as you explore. And just breathing and allowing yourself to be as you are. Let's just imagine a tree, a beautiful tree in nature. Maybe this is a tree you know, or maybe this is just a tree that comes to you right now, like a friend. And saying hello to this tree. If it's okay with you and the tree, see if you can kind of feel you are a tree. And notice what it's like to be a tree with roots going down into the earth. If that's okay with you, or you might want to be a beautiful rock, or you might want to be yourself and just imagine a beautiful cord of light that goes down into earth. And as you breathe in, you allow Earth's energy to be welcomed into your system, helping you find center, supporting your whole energy body, helping you ground and connect, stabilize. So just a few more breaths here. Feeling that slowing down, it might feel like a steady rhythm of earth energy. If you can, just imagine the earth breathing and your connection with the earth. And you might see yourself sitting under a tree or lying on the earth, perhaps gathering sun and breathing fresh air, or walking. And just see yourself in this very balanced, maybe you notice a feeling you have as you imagine yourself being in nature or being connected in this balanced, harmonious way. Maybe for you, it's in your room. So just noticing yourself this way. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. Good job. So we're going to just move into practice one from there. So that was just a little grounding meditation that's that connecting with the earth and sending the roots down. That's what I mentioned. I did about 5 times a day to learn to really ground my energy, but one time a day is fantastic. So we're now going to do a little guided journey. And today I'm going to have us work with a garden metaphor, but you can also use this same guided journey with a house metaphor. So if for any reason you prefer a house metaphor, I have instructions there on the slide, but I'm going to walk you through the garden metaphor. So whether or not you've ever planted a garden, it doesn't matter. Now we're going to imagine that you have a beautiful piece of land and you've designed a wonderful area to grow maybe vegetables, maybe flowers, I don't know, maybe berries. And you're going to prepare the earth for your garden. So you're going to bring to this area, and this is just felt and known by you. You might see it, you might just feel it. You're bringing to this garden area some different ingredients for the soil to be plentiful, healthy. So you're going to have your airy ingredients like bark and wood chips, things like moss that allow air to flow. And you're going to have your compost like worm castings or chicken poop or whatever compost you're using to make that dark color in the soil, that very rich ingredient. And then you're going to also have some sand or some kind of clayey earth, maybe whatever's already there in the land. And you're going to mix all three together. So just imagine as though you were the garden, mixing these three ingredients together, and let your body move a little as you breathe and you combine that rich soil with that airy soil, with that sandy soil. And you're just making the perfect mix inside. And let your body move and connect with itself as you mix that soil. I might even mix it between my hands or maybe between your feet, whatever feels right. Take a few breaths mixing that soil. And then imagine spreading that soil out in the container that is your garden. It already has little walls around it. You've prepared the earth under it to not get any gophers or critters that come through. You've made a beautiful container for this earth you've created, this soil you've mixed together. And now you smooth it out. It's ready. It's ready for seeds. And you just let yourself imagine planting the seeds. And the seeds might be like the intentions inside of you. And just let yourself speak those intentions inside. Maybe they're intentions for groundedness, intentions for clearness, clarity, love, creativity, balance. What comes to you? Any words? Plant your seeds in your soil. Spread seeds of beautiful flowers or giving vegetables if you prefer. Do this your way. Invite any guides or helpers to show you how to plant a garden. And when you're ready, water the garden. Bring sunshine to the garden. And as you bring sunshine and water, you also give prayers and intentions and love to your garden. So hold a container of loving energy for your garden. May you grow. May you be healthy and strong. And then allow that garden to start to come to life. The first little seedling sprouts, and then the next, and then it's reaching up for the sun. Maybe it's an emotion becoming more ready to shine in your life or a gift. Maybe it's a beautiful flower starting to grow bigger and stronger and wider. Maybe you can feel this in your energy body from your roots going up your body into a lovely receiver for sunlight, for raindrops, for the water you give your garden. And just in your own way, enjoy this coming to life of your garden. Breathing and allowing, feeling that growth, letting your imagination play. Ask yourself, what does one of those words like balance, what does that look like in your life? Joy, how does joy grow big in your garden? Clarity, just noticing. And when you're ready, thank your garden for teaching you and thank your body for being present for that experience. Allowing any more communication that you wish to have between your imagination, the garden, and your body at the energetic or the physical level. feeling into your root chakra and noticing just how you mixed the ingredients for the garden. Your root chakra can be that place in your body, in your energy system, in your nervous system for a container, a steadiness, and a place of balanced ingredients for perfect growth, to receive that sunshine and that water. So those intentions, those feelings, those physical experiences have an easier place to prosper inside of you. Okay, take a nice deep breath in and a full breath out. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. Take a moment to take a few notes if you'd like. Notice, was that easy? Was it interesting? What were the intentions, like seeds that you were planting? So that's a practice that we could do with a client, just that one, for example, and then we could explore that. But we have more we can do. Still have at least 25 minutes here. Beautiful. Abundance, love, clarity. Those were some intentions shared there in the chat. Yes. And it's fun to see, even to like do a little extra homework here and be like, okay, so if peace were growing in my garden, what would that flower look like? Or would it be a fruit? Or would it be a vegetable? What do I imagine peace to be? Or is it a vine? Is it a pumpkin? And this can be a fun way to explore through that kind of guided journey. So you see, it's creative and fun to do this kind of session with a client. And we're bringing it back to the body, and to the energy, but we're also really using the emotions and the creativity. So between practices, I like to just take a moment to breathe and feel that central channel flowing. So just even 30 seconds, take a few nice deep breaths in and out, maybe 3 deep breaths, and imagine that central channel flowing and allowing the energy to move up and down. Notice if you want to breathe out through your mouth. Notice if there's any movement or thoughts that accompany that breath. And open your eyes when you're ready. And we're going to go to the next practice, which is one of my favorites. And by the way, you don't have to do them all in one session. You can do just one of these. Today, we're kind of putting it all together. So we are going to use our imagination again, but we're also going to use kind of our mature self, the part of us that's already here, grounded, present, of service, not just to other people, but to us, to our past, to our future, to our emotional well-being. So just see what it's like to connect with that mature self. And invite your younger self, some younger part of you, whatever age comes to mind, invite them next to you. I trusted my body that just invited that younger part of me to my left. And I'm getting kind of sense of her age. See if you get a sense of the age of your younger self that you want to invite today. Totally up to you. And by the way, this is coaching, not therapy. This is energy healing. We're not going for any like very difficult year of our life or anything. We're just going for a younger part of us that we want to learn from, give to, include in our healing and our grounding. Because often in our root chakra is where there might be a younger part of us that has feelings of needs that have not been met. And so in this practice now, we're meeting the needs of our younger self. So we're just going to notice them. We might notice their age, their expression, maybe what shoes they're wearing or not wearing. I was always barefoot. And just kind of, you can have your eyes open and sort of like I'm putting my arm around her, just sort of imagining she's there saying, "Welcome, welcome here." And I'm going to ask you to ask your younger self from your mature self, what do you need? Is there something you need that I could give you? A feeling, a reassurance, a comfort? Would you like me to just be here with you, sitting with you? And just imagine, use your imagination. What does your younger self say? They might surprise you. They might want silliness or a game, or they might want reassurance, or they might want patience. So see what word shows up. They don't have to say it. You don't have to really imagine them even. You're setting this intention and you're just noticing, oh, that word popped into my head, silliness. Okay. And see what it's like to imagine being silly for a moment. You're giving that to that younger self. And notice how you're caring for them as you do that. And you are carrying, you're feeling that sense of care right now for yourself as you do this. And maybe that emotion, that need that shows up, it's a need in your life right now. So, what's it like to just sit with either that younger part of you or that need in yourself and say, I'm listening, I'm here. It's okay to have this need. It's okay to want this. I've got you. And just being present, breathing and being. Does your body turn in any direction? Do you feel anything different inside? Check in on your body. Check in with your lower back, your tailbone area. Say hello to it. And remind it of your ability to be mature, present, listening, stable, and maybe even grateful. What's it like to even be grateful and say thank you to this part of me that maybe this younger self or this need within? Thank you for showing me. Thank you for communicating. And what's it like to turn to your mature self and thank yourself for doing this? Just noticing your own steadiness. And breathe with that steadiness. Connect with the body. Ground your energy. Connect with earth. Imagine that younger self relaxing, grounding also, and thank them and let them return to their world, their timeline. And you are back in your world, your timeline. Put both hands on your heart, maybe, if that feels right, or on your stomach. And just take a nice deep breath, grounding your energy with earth. And let yourself feel an inner smile. And we're going to again do that practice of taking that sensation of filling up as a deep breath going up the body and down the body. Maybe count to 3 or 4 as you breathe up, and count to 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 as you breathe down the body. One more time in your own rhythm. And when you're ready, opening your eyes, shaking it out a little. Take some notes for yourself. Did something surprise you about your thoughts during that? What your younger part of you or what that need might have been? This might be an indicator of what that root chakra is asking for stability. Whether it's silliness or reassurance or worthiness, or something very functional like being timely. I don't know. But this is the way our energy can speak to us through these exercises. Beautiful. Embrace, silence, wanting to be seen and held. Those were beautiful shares. Reassuredness and a therapeutic hug. Ooh, I love that. Let's all hug ourselves. Thank you for bringing that in. Let's all hug ourselves. And when we cross over, we connect the two sides of our body, which is also very helpful. Reassurance during most difficult choice point. My younger self needed forgiveness from my mature self. Wow. So that's so deep. It's amazing how much can happen in just a few minutes, right? So I think you're kind of getting the sense of how this might be experienced in others as well, right? Because some days we go there and some days we don't, and that's okay. Some days we want to go a little deeper, and sometimes it's not the right setting, and we really can learn from each other in a group, which is, I think, super valuable. And if you have to go, no worries. There'll be a replay of this if you want to finish the process later. So we already did this breathing with the central channel as sort of it's like a segue, it's a break, it's a rebalancing between the different practices. And we do have one more practice. And this is a little bit more at the thought level. But our thoughts and our feelings, remember, they connect to our energy. So we do this with the intention of helping our root chakra develop even more coherence and healthy boundaries, healthy connections, support. So let's look at what would you like to add in as an inner knowing for your root chakra? What do you right now, your mature self, want to add in? And so write down 1 to 3 words what you want to add in. I gave some examples like safety, security, presence, love, resilience, protection, stability, balance, whatever it is for you. And when you have one word, just go with one word right now of what you want to add in. And feel into that root chakra. Take a nice breath, feeling it. And ask your imagination to give you a picture that represents that word. So if you said stability, imagine something stable. And you don't have to see it. You can think it or know it, feel it. Something, whatever that word you chose, a picture of it. And feel that in your lower chakra. Breathe with that picture. And then let's go to an I am statement. And let's see if there's more of a feeling that you want to give to your root chakra, a feeling you want it to have. And see if you can make an I am statement that gives you that, like, I am safe. And just feel that those words resonating in your root chakra. Down your legs, even up into your belly a bit. Through your spine, I am, whatever you choose. And you might come up with the next I am statement and feel it in your body. Breathe with it. I am safe, or I am stable, present, loving. I am healthy with healthy boundaries, whatever it is for you. Breathe and be with that feeling in your body. Imagine your lower chakra there, your root chakra, kind of changing in some way that only you know, that gives it even more clarity, healthy flow, stability, maybe even a smoother experience of the energy it feels. Bringing in that healthy regulation there. as you say your I am statements. And noticing this lower energy center as it vibrates very clearly with your I am statements. You might just be imagining or feeling or thinking about it, and that's perfect. So one more deep breath as you do this. And I'm being told by those wonderful guides to give it a few more minutes, that we just do this on our own in silence. Inviting our guides, our helpers, our connection with Source to support us in this healing. To support any energetic frequency that needs to be brought into greater congruency and balance. Allowing anything to be released that's needing to find its own path home that might not be in your system. So you release it, you let the guides, or you let the sunshine or the wind or the air or the earth take it and release it from your energy system. Anything that's unneeded by you. And then bringing again what you need, whether it's a value or feeling, an I am statement, bringing that in. And noticing the movements, the rhythms inside your body. Being with your breath while also allowing the mind to think, allowing movement. And thanking your support team in non-ordinary reality, thanking Source and divine guidance and qualities of light and energy and universal love. Let's take that beautiful breath that goes from our very lower chakras, our seat, all the way up to our crown, feeling that flow through the central channel of light. And taking your time with your exhale, gently flowing downwards. When you're ready, breathing in. And allowing your breath to be very nurturing, loving, as you feel into your own inner compass, your own inner guidance. You might want to put a hand on your heart and let yourself feel that grounded connection with Earth, knowing that you are steady and supported. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. Okay. So how was that for you? Let's see if anyone wants to write in the chat. Zara has her hand up, which is great. Because of time today, Zara, I'd love a quick share, of course, but I still want to get to a few more points here. Hi, Zara.
I had more than a question in the practice that was before this one. I actually wrote down when I was with my younger self, and she told me what she needs. She want to play, and she was really happy, and she was very chatty, and I can imagine, but. And then she wants hugs.
And
Uh,
then she was
but
crying? Is that what you said?
hugs,
Hugs,
hugs.
hugs. Okay, beautiful.
But it was more that I didn't get sad, but it began to just like cascade of tears.
Mm.
Like it was coming and coming and coming and coming and coming and coming.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel sad or really happy. I was very moved. She wasn't sad either. So I get a little bit, I can imagine that maybe happens to somebody else. And if they,
Yeah.
why does that happen?
It, it's an energetic release. So sometimes it's laughing, sometimes it's crying, sometimes it's shaking, sometimes it's burping,
Mm.
yawning. It's okay, you know?
I
And
was suspecting that, but I
yeah,
wanted
you've heard me say
confirmation.
it before. You've heard me say that. Yeah, yeah. And I would say to yourself, welcome. Like I can be here with the tears, not
Mm.
knowing what they mean. I don't have to know what they mean, but just like
Mm.
that energy can flow, the tears are allowed, and
It,
let that
it
happen.
did felt very peaceful, but I was very surprised because it was tears, the kind of tears when you're really really sad,
Right.
really heartbroken. It was that kind of flow, and I didn't get because I wasn't feel sad. I was feeling
I know. It's amazing how this happens. It's just amazing. So, but s- being safe for that to happen, and you are, I think that
mm,
that is sort of
right.
like, take that as evidence. Like, oh, I don't understand it yet totally in my mind, but I created an experience
Mm,
where I could let go that way. That's really beautiful.
mm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, beautiful share. I'm so glad you shared. Okay. So let's see. We did this closing central channel meditation. I did it a little differently there. We started with the heart, but just so you know, there's words for it also. And the way I would end a session with a client using these approaches is to ask some questions to integrate the experience. So I'm going to ask you these questions now, and let's see if you can write them down. And I think we'll actually be perfectly timed today. We'll work together for a few more minutes. So, first, I just want to know how that was for you. And you were starting to share there in the chat. Was there anything you found kind of in that part of your body that surprised you, either as you were planting the seeds in the garden or being with your younger self or looking at the I am statements or the values you wanted to add in? Did something show up that was surprising? Just notice that for yourself. See what it's like to welcome that and be with it right now. Did it feel comfortable to bring your younger self into the healing? Just ask yourself, was that comfortable for me? Was it easier to not think of it as my younger self, but actually something that I needed, like something I know I have a need for, instead of thinking of it as a younger self? Because that's also a perfectly wonderful way to work. Did you get some healing metaphors when you had visuals for what you were adding in? Did you get some healing metaphors, or from the garden? Were there some healing metaphors? Note down what those healing metaphors are. So see what it's like with this extra stability now in your root chakra and in your whole energy system, to check in on your intention for today. And notice, is there anything that you wish to add or learn from? Anything that wants some change in you? Just noticing from the inside out. And imagine yourself being that, whatever it is, that intention, that change, that new adding in. Just imagine yourself being that. See yourself as that. If it's a feeling or a value, imagine yourself being that in some kind of landscape, like walking by a river or singing in the shower, whatever it is. Imagine yourself really being in that, in your whole body as well. And that's a great way we can sort of bring it home. And is there a practice you want to take from today's time together and use in your day to day for 1 minute? Is there anything that comes to mind? Like it might be just that simple grounding your energy. It might be one of those I am statements or a visual. Note that for yourself. See if you want to commit to something for 1 minute a day. Might be lying in bed and feeling energy into your whole back body as you breathe. So we can make it very simple. So we are at the end of the workshop, but I wanted to make sure I haven't missed any important shares or questions. So if there's anything that you guys want to share, if you're doing this workshop later on YouTube, please share a comment about your experience. I'd love to know. And I also want to invite everyone that's here to experience this to join that Chakra Inner Healing Coach course, because we're going to keep going all the way up the system. And you guys got a sense of what it's like. We go place by place in the body, bringing self-healing. And at the same time, you learn how to do this work with a client or with a group. And so in the classroom, and those of you who have the classroom who are here, you'll find the group example, you'll find the examples of me coaching a student one-on-one using the script. And we have on these Tuesdays, what's coming next for those, who are in the training who can stay, is we practice together. So then we use a session guide to practice how to do this work together as individuals. And I just want to say I love having you here. It doesn't matter whether you're in the program or not. I feel all together we make this beautiful energy experience happen. And I want us to thank each other right now for a moment. Really just feeling that, I feel that gratitude for the space that we create together. As the guide in these, even though I've been doing this a really long time, like I can't believe how long sometimes, I still get nervous. And yet knowing that you guys are here and that we create this safety together, I always also know that it's going to be a loving experience. So I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful for everyone's presence. So thank you guys. And I look forward to the next time we meet. If you're in the course, you got that email that had the Zoom links for the next practice session that's going to start in 10 minutes. I love all the hearts. They're so lovely. Um, so in 10 minutes, I'm going to see you in the practice room. Linda and I will be there to support. And you also got the place in your classroom with the session guide. So make sure you download it. Okay, be well and take care, everybody. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. Okay, be well.